Hey Vikings Nation, what's up, my purple-blooded warriors? It's your die-hard Skull fanatic here, fired up and ready to dive into the latest pulse-pounding drama from Vikings News HQ. Imagine this. Our quarterback room just got hit with a thunderbolt that could either spark a comeback for the ages or send us spiraling into NFC North chaos. Carson Wentz, the grizzled vet who's been battling through hell, is officially sidelined for the season with a shredded left shoulder. Yeah, you heard that right. Surgery's on the horizon, and now all eyes are on McCarthy to step up or stumble. Stick with me through this roller coaster because if McCarthy ignites, we're talking playoffs. If not, the trade deadline's gonna be wild. Who's ready to skull through the uncertainty? Hit that like if you're all in. The Minnesota Vikings are staring down a 3-4 record that's got us dead last in the NFC North. And folks, it's not just the losses piling up. It's the quarterback carousel spinning out of control that's got my heart racing. We've got a defense that's feisty but an offense that's sputtering like an old V8 on fumes. And now with Wentz on IR, the pressure's cranked to 11. Remember how we dominated last season with that 14-3 magic under Darnold? This year feels like a gut check, testing if our young guns can carry the torch. But hey, Vikings fans, what's your take? Is this the spark we need? Or are we doomed for another heartbreaking twist? Drop your thoughts below. I read everyone. As we gear up for Week 9 against those smug Detroit Lions. Yeah, the ones with that roaring crowd and Jared Goff smirking from the pocket. McCarthy's got to prove he's the franchise savior we drafted him to be. He's been sidelined since that brutal Week 2 ankle sprain against Atlanta, but recent practices show he's itching to return. Limited reps post-bye, questionable tags, even emergency QB duty. It's all building to this moment. If he slings it like he did in that epic Week 1 fourth-quarter rally against Chicago, with those 3 TD drives that had us screaming skull from the rooftops, we could flip the script. But one interception-happy outing, and the whispers start. Did we whiff on Darnold and Jones in the draft? Let's unpack this step by step, because this isn't just news. It's our Vikings lifeline. Picture the scene in London, Week 5, under those floodlights at Wembley. Wentz takes a hit from the Browns' D-line and bam. His left shoulder's screaming in agony, a dislocation tearing the labrum and fracturing the socket like shattered purple glass. The guy's a warrior, though. He gutted it out for 2.5 more games, strapping on that massive brace and gritting through considerable pain, as the official Vikings site put it. 5 starts, 2 wins, including that gritty comeback against Cleveland on an 80-yard TD drive. Wentz embodied that never-quit Viking spirit we love. Stats-wise, he threw for over 1,200 yards, 5 TDs, and 4 picks, holding the fort while our rookie healed. But man, seeing him limp off against the Chargers on Thursday Night Football, that was tough to watch. Our vet fighting like a gladiator just to keep us afloat. Why push Wentz out there when McCarthy was knocking on the door? That's the million-dollar question burning up Vikings forums right now. And honestly, it smells like a calculated shield job on our golden boy QB. McCarthy's been in rehab mode since that high ankle twist in Atlanta, missing 6 straight games and logging just 23 of 25 possible snaps in his young career. Plus that whole lost rookie year to the meniscus tear. Coach O'Connell's been preaching patience, saying they're not rushing for 130%, but long-term dominance. Wentz stepping up bought time, letting JJ marinate without the wolves at the door. Smart? Maybe. Risky? Absolutely, especially with our O-line leaking like a sieve. Fans, would you have yanked Wentz sooner for McCarthy? Sound off. Your hot takes fuel this fire. Now, with Wentz headed for the knife and missing the rest of 2025, the QB depth chart's thinner than a Lions secondary. It's McCarthy at the helm, undrafted rookie Max Brosmer as backup after his 5.48 preseason flashes, and that's it. No more veteran safety net. This is sink or swim for our 2024 first-rounder, the Michigan legend who balled out in that college football playoff natty. O'Connell and QB coach Josh McCown have been grinding with him, installing plays and building that arm talent we saw glimpses of. But pressure? It's Mount Rushmore level. Prove your worth passing on Darnold's 14-3 fairy tale and Jones' potential, or the offseason rumor mill explodes with trades for vets like Russell Wilson or even a Cousins reunion. What's your prediction for JJ's stat line against Detroit? Over 200 yards and a score or growing pains? Flashback to Week 1, that electric Monday Night Massacre against the Bears. McCarthy, fresh off the bench, engineers 3 fourth-quarter TD drives, 22 unanswered points, to snatch a 28-24 victory that had U.S. Bank Stadium quaking. He finished 11 of 21 for 158 yards, but those picks, 2 of them, plus 3 fumbles, 1 lost, screaming rookie jitters, louder than a Vikings chant. Then week 2 in Atlanta, a 22-6 thud where he limped through the ankle sprain reveal, completing just enough to expose inconsistencies. Low completion rate, stalled drives, only 6 points in 3 quarters before the Magic in Chicago. Those highs and lows? Classic young QB roller coaster, but they've got fans debating if the staff's been babying him too much post-bye. Why the hesitation to unleash McCarthy these last weeks? With Wentz masking that shoulder fire, was O'Connell protecting JJ from a Lions pass rush that sacked him twice in preseason? Or was it doubt after those early picks? Reports say McCarthy could have suited up for Week 8 on a Sunday, but TNF's short week nixed it. Now, 6 weeks in, he's expected to start per the Athletic insiders. It's fair to wonder, was JJ healthier than the brace-bound Wentz? If so, what gives trust issues or timeline tyranny? Either way, this forces transparency. No more shadows. Vikings Nation, if you were coach, would you have rolled with McCarthy sooner? Let's debate in the comments. Your voice matters. McCarthy's last real action? That natty championship snap with the Wolverines, hoisting the trophy in a maize and blue blur. Now he's trading helmets for the pros, with just 2 NFL starts under his belt and a franchise hanging on his right arm. The kid's 22, raw as fresh snow on Lake Minnetonka, but his poise in that Chicago rally? Electric, arm strength zipping 50-yarders, reads sharpening like a Brian Flores defense. Yet those interceptions haunt. A 52% completion clip in limited action that screams work in progress. O'Connell's mantra, he's our guy, but actions speak. Why list him questionable if not fully baked? With Wentz's exit, though, excuses evaporate. It's time to torch secondaries or torch the draft board. Fair or not, this spotlight's brutal. McCarthy was our bet over Darnold's proven 4,300-yard, 35 TD tear and Jones' dual-threat upside. Picks that had pundits scratching heads. Remember the draft war room drama? We traded up for JJ, banking on his championship pedigree to rebuild around Justin Jefferson's wizardry and Jordan Addison's speed. But inconsistency lingers like a bad hangover after a 3-4 skid. If he averages under 200 yards per game through December, whispers turn to shouts. Trade for Wilson? Beg Cousins back? The foundation shakes, and GM Kwesi Adofo-Mensah's phone blows up. Hey fans, rate McCarthy's potential on a scale of 1 to 10, superstar or bust. Spill it below. I want to hear your purple passion. Envision Week 9 at Ford Field. Lions faithful howling, Dan Campbell snarling on the sideline, and McCarthy trotting out for warm-ups. Bracelets off, ankle tape tight, eyes locked like a predator. He's been a limited practice beast lately, throwing lasers in 7-on-7s, footwork fluid despite the rehab grind. O'Connell's prepping the game plan around him. Quick slants to Jay Jettas, bootlegs for Addison's yak, play actions feeding TJ Hawkinson's mismatch nightmares. If McCarthy hits 65% completions and avoids turnovers, we steal a 24-20 W, vaulting to 4-4 and sniffing wild cards. But a pick 6 to Aiden Hutchinson? Oof, back to the cellar we go. What's the over-under on his first Lions pass yards, Vikings fam? Guess in the comments. Recovery timeline's key here. McCarthy's high ankle sprain hit like a blindside blitz in Atlanta, swelling his foot to balloon status and benching him through the bye. 6 weeks later, docs clear him for contact, but questionable tags for Week 7 and 8 screamed caution. Emergency QB only, no reps with the ones. Now, post-Chargers flop, he's full go, with O'Connell gushing about his mental reps, studying film till midnight. Stats from practice leaks. 70% accuracy on intermediates, 0 drops from receivers, signs of a lightbulb moment. Yet that Week 2 fumble fest? 3 lost balls nearly cost us double-digit leads. If he cleans that up, we're golden. If not, Brosmer's arm might see emergency snaps. Fans, how many games do you think JJ starts the rest of the way? Optimism or realism? Hit me. The ripple effects. Our offense, averaging a measly 18.7 points per game without a healthy trigger man, could explode with McCarthy's mobility, scrambling for first downs like he did in college, extending plays for Jordan Newbin to bait underneath throws. Pair that with Aaron Jones' rumbling post-injury, he's in the 21-day window, and suddenly we're top 15 in total yards. But lean on Wentz's bandage too long, and we mask deeper issues like O-line whiffs allowing 22 sacks already. Now exposed, McCarthy's guns-blazing debut demands perfection. No hero ball, just chain-moving magic. Vikings news is buzzing with mock trades if he falters. Wilson from the Giants? Winston as a bridge? Nah, we believe in the kid. Who's with me? Rally in the replies. Pressure's a beast, but McCarthy's wired for it. Recall that natty drive against Washington? 30 yards in 5 plays, cool as tundra ice. 2 NFL starts? Small sample, but week 1's 158 yards masked a 52% clip. Amp that to 60% and we're cooking with jet fuel. Over Darnold? Bold, but Sam bolted for green pastures after his 14-3 elixir. JJ's our future with arm talent scouts drool over. Jones? Solid, but not the pocket maestro we crave. If McCarthy averages 2 TDs per game from here, doubters silence, falter, and off-season QB hunts echo Cousins' Achilles nightmare. Either way, it's thrilling. Our purple heart beats for underdogs. Fans, what's one play you want JJ to nail against Detroit? Paint the picture. Inconsistent plays the ghost haunting this squad. McCarthy's Week 1 heroics, 3 TDs. Versus Week 2 woes, 2 picks, fumbles galore. Mirror a teener learning the pro ropes. Post-buy, why not test him? Protecting assets. Sure, but now with Wentz's shoulder in tatters. Labrum ripped, socket cracked. It's do or die. ESPN's calling it a critical point in team building. I call it skull destiny. If JJ thrives, we hit 8 to 9 and build. Slump, and that foundation quakes, eyeing vets like a desperate ex. But hey, we've clawed from worse. Remember 2016's miracle? This is our saga. What's your boldest JJ prediction for 2025? Wild guesses welcome. As the trade deadline ticks, November 4th, y'all. Wentz's IR stint forces Kwesi's hand. Hunt a bridge QB like Jameis for grit, or double down on youth. Markets barren, per insiders, no Cousins glow up, Wilson's a FA gamble. Me? Ride with McCarthy, his upside supernova. We've got Jefferson feasting on 1,100 yards already. Addison's YAC king. Feed him. But if JJ's ankle ghosts him with a hobbled drop back, panic sets in. Vikings Nation, deadline deal or nah? Vote in comments. Your call shapes the hive. Wrapping this epic with a bang, fam. McCarthy's moment is here, Wentz's warrior run etched in purple lore, and our 3-4 fight far from over. If JJ dazzles in Detroit, Skull echoes nationwide. If not, we grind, adapt, conquer like true Northmen. You've stuck with me through every twist. Now, smash that like button if you're hyped for the turnaround. Drop your McCarthy hot takes below. Best one gets a shout out next vid. Subscribe for non-stop Vikings news updates, and share this with your fellow purple diehards. Let's pack US Bank and roar 'em home. Skull Vikings. Who's ready to bleed purple? See you in the trenches.